James Webb just photographed a wound carved into the body of a galaxy 4 billion years ago, and it is still bleeding. The data came through quietly. No announcement, no press briefing. The images were filed, cataloged, and moved past, as if what they showed was ordinary. It was not ordinary, because what James Webb captured wasn't a galaxy in recovery. It was a galaxy that should be dead, still somehow holding itself together. While the damage from a collision 4 billion years ago continues to spread outward, right now, as you watch this. And here's the part that no model predicted. Here's the part that breaks the physics. The collision zone, the scar itself, spans 400,000 light years across. 400,000. That is not a number your brain is built to process. So let me give it to you differently. Our entire Milky Way, every star, every planet, every atom of everything you have ever known, stretches roughly 100,000 light years from edge to edge. The scar on this galaxy is 4 Milky Ways wide, and it has been expanding without stopping for 4 billion years. Something hit this galaxy so hard that the damage is still in motion across a distance that would take light itself 400,000 years to cross. Whatever struck it did not just pass through. It rewrote the structure of the galaxy at a scale that makes our entire existence look like a scratch on a scratch on something that no longer remembers being whole. James Webb didn't go looking for this. The telescope was pointed at a region of deep space as part of a broader survey, cataloging structures, mapping light, building the most detailed atlas of the early universe humanity has ever attempted. And then the image resolved. A galaxy, ring-shaped, its outer arm disrupted, torn open on one side in a pattern that doesn't occur naturally unless something passed through the center, not grazed it, not orbited it, passed through the center. When astronomers ran the data through structure models, the Lambda CDM framework, the standard model for how galaxies form and survive, the result came back the same way every time. A galaxy this scarred, at this scale of internal disruption, should not have survived intact. The model said it should have fragmented, pulled apart by its own gravitational instability within a few 100 million years of impact. Instead, it held. 4 billion years later, it is still there, still rotating, still expanding its wound outward into the fabric of space around it. And no one has a clean explanation for why. Now hold that thought, because there is something else in this data we need to come back to. Something that sits at the edge of what the images show. Something that changes the question entirely. We'll get there. But first, the scale of what was sterilized. When an object passes through the center of a galaxy at the velocity required to produce a scar this size, it doesn't just displace stars, it collapses them. The shockwave propagating outward from the impact point compresses molecular clouds, the stellar nurseries, at pressures they were never built to survive. Some ignite violently, burning through their fuel in a fraction of their natural lifespan. Most simply, collapse. The star-forming regions shut down. The environments capable of producing planetary systems, capable of producing the conditions for what we call life, go silent. Across 300 billion star systems. 300 billion in a single event. 4 billion years ago. Right now in the Milky Way, there are roughly 100 to 400 billion star systems. The sterilization event in this galaxy exceeded the total star count of our entire galaxy. And it happened in the time it takes a shockwave to cross 400,000 light years, which is not a long time. Not cosmically, not at the velocities involved. You are watching a galaxy that absorbed the equivalent of our entire existence, multiplied by 3, and still refuses to stop existing. Here's where the physics begins to fracture. The Lambda CDM model, the framework that describes how matter clumped after the Big Bang, how dark matter scaffolded the first galaxies, how structures we observe today came to be, has one fundamental assumption built into it: stability. Galaxies at this scale, once formed, are not supposed to absorb catastrophic collisions and maintain coherent rotation. The gravitational binding energy required to hold a galaxy together after an impact of this magnitude exceeds what the visible matter in the galaxy can provide. The math doesn't close. The numbers don't balance. Something is holding this galaxy together that the standard model does not fully account for. Dark matter halos are the standard answer, a vast invisible scaffolding of mass that surrounds galaxies and provides gravitational stability beyond what stars and gas alone can generate. It is the reason galaxies rotate the way they do. The reason the outer arms of a spiral galaxy don't simply fling themselves apart the way a spinning top does when friction disappears. Without the dark matter halo, the visible galaxy is not gravitationally viable. It should not cohere. It should not rotate. It should not exist in the form we observe it. And yet the standard model, with halos intact, still cannot explain what James Webb recorded here. Because here's the problem. The scar is still spreading. If the dark matter halo were fully intact, if the gravitational scaffolding had held, the expansion of the damage zone should have decelerated by now. 4 billion years is enough time for gravitational forces to begin pulling disrupted material back toward equilibrium. Instead, the outer ring is still moving outward, still accelerating away from the core, which means either the dark matter halo was itself disrupted by the impact, or something else is pushing the scar open from the inside. And that is the part that was filed quietly, now. What James Webb actually detected at the boundary of the damage zone. At the edge where the scar meets undisrupted galactic structure, the infrared signature shifts, not dramatically, not in a way that generates press releases, but measurably. The thermal profile at the scar boundary does not match the cooling curve of disrupted stellar material 4 billion years old. Material that was violently displaced 4 billion years ago should have cooled to predictable temperatures by now. It has not. Something at the boundary of this 4 billion year old wound is still warm, still radiating, still carrying energy that should have dissipated across 4 billion years of cosmic cooling. The scar is not a scar in the way we use that word. A scar is healed tissue. Static. Closed. Past tense. This is an open wound, still losing heat, still in motion, still unresolved. 4 billion years after the event that created it. You're sitting on a planet inside a galaxy called the Milky Way. And the Milky Way is not stationary. It is moving toward a galaxy called Andromeda at 110 kilometers per second. Every second you have spent watching this video, the Milky Way has moved closer. Every second you will spend sleeping tonight. Every second of every year for the rest of your life, and the lives of everyone who will come after you. The distance is closing. There is no mechanism that stops it. No force that reverses the trajectory. No version of the future in which this does not happen. The collision, and there will be a collision, is estimated to begin in approximately 4.5 billion years, the same timescale as the wound James Webb photographed. What the telescope captured is not ancient history. It is a preview, a physical record written in light of what happens when a galaxy absorbs an impact at the scale that is coming for ours. 300 billion star systems sterilized, a damage zone, 4 Milky Ways wide, a scar that is still spreading after 4 billion years without resolution, and our own galaxy is already in motion toward that same event, right now. 110 kilometers every second, closing. The question the data raises is not whether the Milky Way will survive. On a long enough timescale, the structure will persist. Galaxies are mostly empty space. The stars themselves rarely collide directly. Two galaxies passing through each other is less like two solid objects shattering, and more like two swarms of fireflies moving through each other in the dark. Most of the lights survive. Most of the individual points of fire continue burning on the other side, but the space between them, the molecular clouds, the stellar nurseries, the environments where new stars are born and planetary systems form, and conditions capable of sustaining what we call life slowly over millions of years, assemble themselves. That space does not survive the shockwave cleanly. The question is what survives inside it, what the shockwave passes through, what the sterilization zone claims, whether whatever exists in the Milky Way at the moment of impact will still exist on the other side of it, and whether 4 billion years from now, some instrument, in some civilization, in some undamaged corner of a restructured galaxy, will point itself at what remains of ours, and record a wound still spreading, and file the data quietly because there are no words prepared for what the numbers show. James Webb photographed 4 billion years of damage still actively unfolding across 400,000 light years. The model said the galaxy should not exist. It exists. The cooling curve said the wound should be closed. It is open. The shockwave should have decelerated. It has not. And our galaxy is moving toward the same event at 110 kilometers per second right now. As you sit here, watching light that left a dying star system before your planet existed. If our galaxy has already been hit, if the scar is already forming somewhere in the structure of the Milky Way, and we simply don't have an instrument powerful enough to see it yet, would we even know? Leave your answer below, because whatever you believe, the universe is under no obligation to agree.